Zumix Kit by Univapo, a variable wattage pod device. It comes with 3 different power options, low, medium and high, 16mm in diameter by 96.45mm in height. Quite precise there. It has a 430 mAh battery, a coil in there that's going to come out at 1.3 ohms, and a capacity of 1.5 mils. So turning this thing on, just the usual 5 clicks on, 5 clicks off. 3 clicks is going to take you between all your power options, and if you want to add the draw activation to this, so you can either use the button or you've got a draw activation, what you want to do is turn this off with the 5 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably just as easy to show you this. And then you're going to hold in the button here. Let's get that to focus. So hold that button in, and eventually it will flash white, and that is a draw activation going on. If you want to turn it back off, you want to do the same process, but it'll go a kind of dark blue, and that just means the draw activation is off. So yeah, simple to use. How does this look though? I'm not that sold on the looks. There's different colours available. I've just got them here. There's a black, a white, this red one, a kind of white and blue mix, a rainbow colour, and a purple. Now I think the red really reminds me of lipstick. It looks like I'm carrying around a lipstick. Some of the other colours are okay, but just in general, I'm not that sold on the looks of this. The pod hides below this little beauty cap here, which does obviously improve things, but yeah, for me the looks just don't really tickle my pickle. Some of you may like, some of you may not. As always, looks are a very, very subjective thing. In terms of actually using it though, I mean, it feels comfortable to hold. The mouthpiece is absolutely fine in the mouth. It's not overly heavy, and the button's easy to push. It doesn't rattle, nothing like that, no issues whatsoever. But just in general, the looks for me are a bit. I've seen better. I think it's almost kind of going back to some of the old style pen kits that you used to get. It almost looks like that. What I might have liked is this just spins, and I really just feel as if the window needs to be lined up like that. So it'd be quite nice if there was something just to kind of click that in and stop it wobbling about as much. But setting this up, it's super easy. You're basically attaching the pods, turn it on, it's good to go really, really easily. Now, the battery in this, I always say I basically rate my batteries on whether this thing can get me through a 12-hour shift, and it can. Without much problem, to be honest. It does me all day. Get home at night and I'll stick it on charge for an hour. It's done. And as I say, an hour, it's probably more closer to an hour 10, an hour 15 it's taken to charge this, but considering I'm getting all day out of it, that doesn't really annoy me all that much. The power options in this, now as I said before, you have red, blue, green. Blue being the lowest setting, green being the medium setting, and red being the highest. The issue that I have I turned this off? Yeah. The issue that I have though is if you look at the manual, there's no information as to what any of the wattages are when you're using red, blue or green. Had a wee look online, and again, there's no info to say if you're using the red mode, you're vaping at whatever watts, and I don't even think the manual tells you what most powerful is. You have to kind of work that out by yourself, basically. So a wee bit more info on what the power modes and things are would have been quite nice, just to give us that wee bit of information. But it does feel as if it's producing enough power for the pods that are in there, and I have generally just no severe issues with the battery life at all. It just would have been nice to know what exactly I was doing. The pods come with a 1.5 milliliter capacity, which is not too bad. Takes a wee while for this to burn through that capacity. Comes with a 1.3 ohm coil in there as well. And that kind of moves us on to the next issue. There isn't, again, any information as to what this coil is made out of. And I'd imagine for some people that is probably a big no-no. A lot of people really like to know what they're using. If people have got nickel allergies, things like that, people want to know exactly what it is they're vaping on, and this just doesn't provide that information. Apart from that though, the pods are super easy to fill. You would have seen that at the start of the video if you could have been asked watching that. Basically just another pull the flaps open and fire it in. Super simple to do. It's got they click into place, so push it in like that, give it a wee push and it'll click into place, and then you're just going to slot your beauty ring back over there. But again, I need it to match up. The draw activation, now you've seen me turn it on there. That's me pushing the button. Now, adjust the way I sit here. The draw activation just doesn't always work. It just doesn't always work. We'll try it just now. Maybe I've got it turned off. Let's just make sure it's turned on. Now I'm just going to make sure the draw activation is actually turned on. So we've got the white light there, which means it should be on. Turn the mod back on.
A few moments later.
So I'm still pissing about with the draw activation here. Sometimes it's working, sometimes it's not. I've made sure it's turned on. It worked a second ago there. Nothing at all. It works intermittently. It'll do this for 10 minutes. I'll go back to it later. Draw activate, works, no issues. But today it just doesn't want to work. So yeah, there's something wrong with the draw activation here. This is a new pod. At first I thought maybe the old pod was just starting to get a bit gunked up, not working. It was needing replaced. I've replaced that pod and I still have the same issues. Absolutely fine pressing the button. And I have went back and made sure the draw activation's on. I've turned it on, off, still getting the same results. I'm probably going to have to, well, you'll know if I have, I've probably put a jump cut just before this, because I was sitting for a good 5 minutes just back and forward trying to get this to activate, and I actually can't do it. Usually a bit of fiddling, it starts to come on eventually, then it'll cut off again, but this time it's just not working. So yeah, the draw activation is a no-go for this one. Maybe if it could be a single pod issue, it could just be this pod, but yeah, not too impressed with that. But it hasn't stopped me using it. I use the button, fair enough. It's easy to do. I do prefer pressing the button, even if it is a draw activated system. If there's a button, I will tend to use it. So it hasn't really broken it for me, but for some of you that's going to piss you off. It's supposed to be a feature, it's not working. Yeah. The cloud production on it. Yeah, average for a 50-50 juice in a pod system. Cloud production is as you would expect it. I use 50-50 juices in here. It's always Nick salts. I'm starting to get a bit shaky trying to review the Nick salts. Sometimes they really go for me. I think it's because it's early in the morning. But anyway, yeah, the coils, they wick absolutely fine. As I say, I've been using 50-50 juices in here all the time, so you wouldn't expect to have any issues. Quite often I will chain this for 5 minutes at a time, and I've never had any dry hits from it. Always absolutely fine. No leaking from the coils at all either. The juice, when you put it in, the air slot here has been widened. Sorry, the fill port has been widened. So when you're filling this up, there's going to be spaces at the side that the air is going to escape as well while you're filling it, so you're not going to have it bubbling up and all that kind of shit with it. The flavour on it. The flavour's fucking excellent. Flavour is pretty good here. It's probably competing with this little bugger, the E8. It's crisp, it's clear. I get a lot of the sweetness coming through with juices on this coil, but the flavour is proper up there. I'm starting to see a wee bit of a difference in the flavouring pods now compared to like your AVP and all that kind of stuff that was out. They were all really good things, really good pod systems, but I'm finding this just that wee step above, similar to what the E8 was doing. It's just the flavours kind of stepped up a wee gear with this. But yeah, flavour is on point. Other things with it, you have to be careful where you keep it. A lot of people are going to throw these in pockets. People say you shouldn't, but it's going to fucking happen. But if you do, when you bend, that might happen and everything might go all over the floor and you have to put a jump cut in here. So I wasn't really expecting everything to go absolutely everywhere there. So yeah, kind of be extra things on it, which I do find annoying. The USB charger is on the side here. I prefer it on the base rather than having a hole on the side of the device. I'd rather you just stuck it down round about there. Price points, you're talking roughly 20 to 30 quid. The pods are roughly 14 quid, I think it was, I've seen. but that is me having to convert it from other currencies, because trying to find these in the UK is a real challenge. Can't find any websites selling them. I think there was one in Germany, but otherwise you're probably going to have to search for these in China and wait a wee bit of time for delivery. Anywhere I could find it tended to be wholesale orders, and they wanted me to buy 100 of them, which that's not ever going to happen. So yeah, finding these things is going to be a big challenge for you, which brings me to, would I recommend it? Quite split on it, to be honest. I really enjoy the flavour. The cloud production, as I say, is okay, and for me flavour is the number one thing with this. Provides decent throat hit, but the draw activation hasn't worked. Maybe that's a single issue just with this one, but the draw activation hasn't worked. If I was to buy this, I would have to be buying pods, or replacement pods from abroad all the time. So I suppose if I was to recommend it, it would have to be if you can get a UK supplier of the pods and of the system. So it would kind of depend on that whether I would recommend it or not. Probably I would be going for this first, but that is a very personal thing, down to my own preference. But yeah, lots of buts there. So that was the Zumix kit by Univapo. Hopefully more available pretty soon and you can get your hands on it. Hope you did like today's review. If you did, leave a wee comment down below. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I have been Pod Puss. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.